Chat, I don't know if I actually saved these three for like this late into October just because there's some of the spookiest servants out there. Definitely has definitely like given people heart attacks out of fright. And Anastasia is known for spooking mist, so it's very fitting. Anastasia is one of the, I think it's just her and Scheherazade that are actually permanent for AoE casters in the permanent pool. I have never gotten spooked by Anastasia. I've never gotten spooked by Scheherazade, but I also haven't been rolling nearly as much this year or last year and a half since the apartment. Money definitely has a different place than when I was living at my parents. Yeah, it's whatever though. Part of growing up. So let us get started on Anastasia and her buff. Is this enough? Is this what she needed? Let's get started. Okay, first off, I love how like her Ascension artwork doesn't really change that much, but I love just the significance of what this is actually showing. Like, this is this fucking demon that like is represented by this doll. That is creepy as shit. That's just like around her, and it's her stand. It is basically a stand for how close this thing is. And I'm afraid I'm a fan of JoJo's. So cool. It's and she's a funny character. Like, so goddamn hot is such a good meme. And then she like literally was about to say it like, what are you expecting me to say? Talk about the heat? All right, so base attack, this is low. It will definitely affect her farming because she has almost the same attack as Jarcher. That is very, very bad for loopers. You do not want low attack because that means, especially the higher hits you have, the more hits it's gonna take to get to overkill, which will affect your refund. This can be fixed by grailing, but you still have to use 5 grails just to get her to the average point of other 5-star servants. Yeah, this is a big pain point, especially when her competition is Sieg, that is guaranteed MP5. So if his base attack is low, it's whatever. Like, he's MP5. It's harder to compete with that, especially when Sieg can run Black Rail. Like, his base attack isn't the issue. And that's again only if we're talking about farming. HP 14k. This is a good number, nice and high. Not the highest, but still decently high. Star weight, Sergeant is normal caster numbers and be charged at 0.51, and her hit counts are fine. I still think this number is just too low. I know like her MP is like 4 hits. I don't think this is enough for her, specifically her. Like, I know I know this is like the same as Zenobia's. Hers is like 0.47 and 4 hits, but Zenobia also has she has a consistent card. Zenobia has like a consistent card buff, and she gets charged per turn. Anastasia kind of has a 1-turn card buff and then a like battery. Those two don't add up. They're not equal. Zenobia functions, for me personally, from what I've been able to use it for Anastasia, and I know my setups are scuffed because I don't have I can't use double Castoria to like really test it. But in my experience, like for a looper like this, you're gonna run into problems. It's mostly gonna be overkill problems. Like, she might not be getting like the hits she needs, and she's gonna need like other supports to like give her charge to continue looping. If you're running Oberon, it really doesn't matter. Like, your refund is just like whatever. If you're using double Castoria Oberon, like you're not gonna have that much you're not gonna have that much charge problems. You're simply not, especially for a unit that has a battery too. Speaking of her card buff, Mystic Eyes, just like Shiki. Ignores invul for 1 turn. Arts buff 50%. Debuff resistance 100%. This is almost exactly like Saber. I think, what is it? Saber Shiki, except instead of insta kill, it's debuff resist. This is crippling. This, but here's the thing. Are you ready for this? Enemies can resist this. Isn't that great? Enemies can resist you putting debuff resist on them. Oh boy. So for her kit, you would want this to land, but there's a chance that the enemy can just resist it. Unfortunate. This by itself as a mana burst is still good though. This is a mana burst with extra shit on it. Extra offensive shit that the unit would actually want. Ignore invul for, again, a turn, and debuff resistance even if someone can resist it. That is still more than a normal mana burst does, because like some of those mana bursts were just 50 card buff and that they called it a day. Second skill, 20% attack for the party, and then 20% attack down for the enemy party. Nice bit of survivability. And in challenge quests, this is awesome because people just aren't going to take damage. And then the third skill is what got buffed. So, still a battery. They changed the stun from being a single target to AoE, and they put Art's res down on all enemies, along with bumping the cooldown from 7 to 6. This is a solid buff. Is this exactly what she needs? No. Does this help a lot? Yes. Art's res down for 3 turns. She's not supposed to be farming. They straight up just said, this is not supposed to be a farmer. Bring her to bosses. As if like a stun and ignore invul and debuff resistance wasn't enough to just scream it. So if they buff Anastasia, I hope that they give her buff success. Wait. Oh, wait. Actually, she might not need it. Like right now, I'm thinking like her fighting like stupid, crazy magic resist, but she does have it as the passive. So again, go to the passives. 12% arts up and fake contract, 10% debuff resistance, and 10% debuff success rate. I don't know. Like, because remember, you're fighting magic resist. You have to fight the magic resist. And by nature, people have like at least 10 to 20. So with this, there is a, for normal servants, there is a 10% chance at max level that this doesn't stick. It's a big problem for Anastasia considering how many fucking debuffs are in her kit. Arts res down and mostly the defense. And this too. Yeah, like almost every skill she has a debuff on it. It is very, no, every skill, not almost every skill has a debuff on it. And so does her MP. Her MP has 2. I am, there are so many servants with like goddess essence. Buffing, I think buffing the charisma just makes sense. Like since everything's AoE buff success, debuff success chance. Like 20-30%. It wouldn't be a huge buff, but it would make this unit just function better, because she should, at that point, she basically should never not be landing all her debuffs. You could always run like a debuff success rate CE or look for a support that does it, but I think her being able to do it herself just makes more sense. I do think this unit is like, I would like some of this to be 3 turns, but I'm not expecting them to add another effect on this. I would rather them touch this, because putting like debuff success rate it's not gonna increase the power, it's gonna increase the ease of use, which she could definitely use since she doesn't have a super high hit MP. She has anti-caster, which cool. Definitely do not do this one first. Don't do this one first. Unlock mana loading. Then extra attack. She has like good hits and good stats for it. Not amazing, but she doesn't have like 0.33 MP gain like Gilgamesh, and she doesn't have Berserker or Avenger Stargent. So like they're just making this better. It doesn't need the improvement, but she'll greatly appreciate it. Right, to the MP. Damage to all enemies. Skill seal for 1 turn. Reduce their defense. The defense happens after damage. I'd like this to get buffed too, just happened before, but it's not the biggest deal. The skill seal for 1 turn though. This is gonna mean like enemies aren't gonna make themselves tankier or hit harder. That is her role. She wants the enemies to hit for as little damage as possible and never be buffing themselves. She wants them to be just like wandering lost in a snowstorm. That is her entire kit. Does it make people not able to fight back? And this by herself, if she's the one getting hit, she is also refunding more. She's getting more gauge because the enemies are hitting her and they're barely doing damage while doing it. As long as you're running her with Castoria, you shouldn't have issues of her taking damage, because with them all, well, no, actually you will. As long as you're not fighting AoE enemies that are skill sealed, you should be good with Castoria. Without them popping buffs, so you might run into the issue where Castoria shields are getting popped, or servants are getting focus fired too much, because the skills they pop do take up turns. Ascension mats, these are not the best. Like, she's not a summer servant, but she gets the seashells. I don't know why. The ice makes way more sense, but where's the crown? Oh, right, she came out before. She came out before Lost Bell 2. Okay. Does she at least have it on pens? No. Okay, that's weird. All right, ball and CE. Arts up 10%. MP damage up 10%. If she is able to run this, she gets easier farming when if they do some of their bond CEs. But like Plushy is saying, you cannot make every bond CE a passive, because Kiara's is broken, and so is Herc's. Letting them run other CEs with those busted ass gut CEs, one of which gives her a full fucking revive and stacks with other guts. Yeah, some of these are strong. Some of these work for her being a looper. She's not intended to be a looper. It's just something she can do, just like Musashi. The only reason like Anastasia is get like less in the conversation for looping than Musashi's, because she doesn't. Anastasia doesn't have MP gain. They have like super similar stats. Like their base MP gains around the same. They both have 4-hit arts. But you hear way more about Musashi because A, she's a berserker, and B, like that MP gain is just cracked and stacked so well with Castoria. If you get spooked by this servant, it's not the worst thing in the world, but if you have Sieg, you're looping with Sieg. Unless he's like Bond 10 or in like Bond 15 or something, I don't know. She shouldn't be your go-to looper. She's more your go-to challenge quest caster. Like when you're gonna be fighting a whole bunch of like assassin mobs, she's gonna make sure they're not like stacking up crit and blitzing you down. Is she someone you need to actively be summoning for? No. If she comes to you, it happens. Mist would definitely prefer not to see Anastasia again, or Waver, but Master of Casters, he's not getting away from it. He's gonna probably see them in like 2 weeks. Yeah, because I don't think he's rolling for Himiko again. I don't think he needs the extra copy. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Sorry for the lighting. I will go get more light bulbs soon. Peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.